it on here again to get this line.
Hello everybody and welcome back once again to the Fredton Model Railway. Now it has been absolutely ages since I did an update on this. I've been doing mountain loads of work, so I suppose we should get into the video and see what has changed on the Fredton Model Railway. I should say that we'll probably be going over a few things again since I cannot remember what we did or even when the last update on the Fredton Model Railway was. So let's start over here with the Fredton station. Okay, so please excuse the mess, but here we are outside the new and magnificent Fredton railway station. Now I can't remember if I showed this in the last update, so I'm going to show it to you again. As like I just said, it is a bucket of magnificence. I'm so proud of this. Me and my dad built it using balsa wood. It is a scratch build, so unfortunately you can't buy these. I'm not making any more of them. Overall, it is really good. The only problems I have with it is that I painted it with paint pen, and as you can see, with many things on this now, I didn't use a ruler. So the green line above the bus stop poster is a bit wobbly, so is my camera work. And as well as that, the barriers stopping people falling over the edge by the window is also very oversized. Apart from that though, I think it looks really good, and I don't know about you, but it reminds me a bit of Reading Station near London. Okay, so I'm now just going to talk you through Fredton Station. So that line there, currently because I've got my heater running, isn't operational at the moment. However, I'll get it running for you guys a bit later on in the day. This is the Heritage Railway. Now, as much as I wanted a full-on Heritage Railway, I've basically used up all of the available space. So that middle line there is the Heritage Railway. That runs along behind the magnificent bus depot that we'll come along to in a minute, past the fire station, underneath Monkpool theme park, and round into the Dadwater Junction Heritage Station, and then it comes back around behind the quayside, over the bridge, and underneath Fredton Town Centre. You may be able to spot some more new things, however at the moment I am focusing on Fredton Railway Station. And on the second and third tracks, we have got the cross-country route or the Great Western Main Line, depending on what you want to call it. It is based on the line between Taunton and Bristol Temple Meads. Now I'm going to call it the cross-country route since it is part of the cross-country route. However, you may call it other things like the Great Western Main Line, or you may still call it the Bristol and Exeter Railway, even though they went bust an extremely long time ago. Anyway, inside here we have ticket barriers, a waiting room there, and although you can't really see, I have done an interior for the ticket office, so there's ticket machines, and although you can't see it, behind there is a ticket office. I was planning on having some shops upstairs, however as you can see I've kind of given up on that, and well, there aren't any windows in it, but I think it just looks magnificent as it is. And as well as that, underneath, I can't really get a very good shot of it. There we go, there are a few little cafes and shops. Around the back, these are where the trains to London would depart on that platform. So somewhere there is a pumpkin. I can't actually get a camera shot of it at the moment. And then we have the original Fredton Station building there. So let's now move on to the next bit, which is the Fredton bus depot. Okay, so here we are at the Fredton Bridge Street bus depot. Now this road here, actually coming off the roundabout along here, is actually known as Bridge Street, which is why it's called Bridge Street bus depot, because it dominates half of the road. Anyway, this once again is a scratch build. Me and my mum built it. We went to various shops, bought some corrugated card there for the roof, and some more card for the walls, and it is based on Taunton Hamilton Road Bus Depot and the Bridgewater Bus Depot and the Yeovil Bus Depot. So it's kind of a mixture of all three buses of Somerset bus depots. As you would have known by now, the Bridgewater Depot has closed, however it is still there, and there are rumours that Stagecoach are going to take it over. As if you haven't heard already, Stagecoach are taking over the Taunton Park and Ride service in Taunton in February. Anyway, that's real buses. Here we are talking about model buses. So as you can see across the layout, there have been some new additions and some buses have actually gone. So here we are. There is a open top Bristol bus. I'm not too sure what kind of Bristol it is. All I know that it's very old and I haven't actually put a destination board on it. But at the moment it says 52, I think it says, and it's going towards Sandbanks. And then there we have a Millennium Viking bus on the Volvo B70L chassis. This bus used to operate on the 5, as you can see, between Fredton Railway Station and the hospital. A newer bus has replaced this. However, I don't really fancy selling this bus on eBay, as I quite like this bus, and it's the closest model I can get to a Millennium line. So I'm going to keep this bus for the moment. And here we have a spare bay, and then we go along to a coach. I'm not too sure what livery this is. But it is a Claxton Panther, I think it is. I can't exactly remember. This was a Christmas gift from my Uncle Michael. Thank you very much, mate. He gave me 3 entire model buses. Wow, he must be rich. Anyway, I think that is a Claxton Panther, and then in the rear two bays we have the open top buses. And although the open top bus services are still running, at the moment there is not an open top bus on it, so if you wanted to ride on that. Oh, I'm not made to ride on. Here we are around the back of Fredton bus depot. So around the back I was going to have a washing facility, however we'll just see what happens there. And there is a ex-Hong Kong Claxton President training bus. Then we have a few daily starts. You would have noticed that there is about, 3 or 4 daily starts left. Those 2 are pretty much the surviving ones. The rest of them have all been sold on eBay. So if you bought them, well, I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, there is a Leyland Manchester Metro bus there. Again, I don't know what I'm doing with that, it's just sat there at the moment. Being used as a training bus, same with the Leyland Lynx next to it. Then we've got a whole load of coaches, and then we've got a Wright Scania Solar. So it's a Wright Solar bendy bus with, I think, the Scania chassis. Please correct me if I'm wrong, it also has a Scania engine, I think. And then we have a Volvo B70L Alexander ALX 400, so it's an ALX 400, once again with the Volvo B70L chassis. And here we're back at the bus depot. A lot of vans. Yeah, and I've sort of painted it in the old First Barbie livery. As you'll notice that a lot of the Fredton buses are actually semi in this livery. There you've got the front bus logo, and over there you've got an absolutely tiny Fredton buses logo. And here we are moving on to the Fredton Bridge Street Park and Ride. There's the Class 158s there. And absolutely nothing has happened to this park and ride, I don't think, since. It has changed. But yeah, there is a bus shelter there, bus stop, Londis convenience store, car parking, a set of garages, and that's it. So let's move on to the next thing, which is pretty major to say the least. Here we are now at Mumpool Village. Now I'm not too sure, as I say, I don't know when the last episode of the FMR was, however I'm not too sure whether or not this was completed. I'm fairly certain it wasn't. So if it was, or if you've somehow already seen this, then please skip this section of the video. Anyway, Here is a Volvo B7R Rally Right Eclipse 2 in the Perryman's Coaches livery. I haven't painted this into the Fredton Buses corporate livery, as I quite like this. Here we have a farm sort of thing, a bus shelter there, a farm, quite like the farm to be honest. The bus shelter used to be over in the first bus station, however I've decided to move it to there, and then beside that we have the Fredton Fire Depot, and beside that some historic shops and the police station, and behind that we have a very sort of posh house. This is where the wealthy people live. It's sort of like a mansion. So yeah, this sort of area is sort of roughly based on Axbridge, located near Cheddar in the Mendip. Not very far away from Paula actually. But yeah, it's sort of based on Axbridge. And here is the Bridge Street Park and Ride, which, well, there's the 158, which hasn't changed at all. So let's move on to the theme park itself. So starting off with the miniature railway, it does work, but well, as you can see, I've run out of plugs. So I'm not going to run that unfortunately for you today. Sorry about that, but I don't even know if it still works. Anyway, we have two locomotives, both steamies unfortunately. However, there we have our newest one, which is second hand. And behind here, in the engine shed, we have the other one, which was the original one to the layout. Here we have a caravan and a campsite, a bridge that I haven't built yet, sort of the circus sort of area, all very nice. The bus shelter. As you can see, Mumpool is a sort of a bus terminal for Fredton buses, a lot of routes converge here. And there we have the carousel, or it might be the teacups actually, the teacups I think it is. It's supposed to work, but it doesn't. So well done fella for producing something that doesn't work. And here we have the modern diner. I brought this back ages and ages ago from America. It's quite nice and I still have it. And here we are, back around by the miniature railway. And, well, I quite like this section to be honest. As the Class 158 and the Class 800 is about to demonstrate, the main line and the Heritage Railway go underneath the miniature railway. Now this section looks really cool, I think. The only problem is I haven't actually fitted any barriers. So I don't think the miniature railway at this moment in time would pass English safety inspection. Anyway, this is Fredton, who cares about his safety? Anyway, here we are coming along to the Dandwater busway. Now I'm going to talk you through Dandwater in another clip, because this is just something else, this area. This is about the 6th time I'm doing this now. Anyway, here I am at the Dandwater and Fredton busway. Now, originally, this was a road, however, people in Fredton, including Transport for Fredton, who partially own Fredton buses, at first are doing a terrible job of keeping the buses clean, safe, reliable, and keeping the service reliable. Anyway, Transport for Fredton decided to invest in some bus shelters that Christmas. These are Gauge Master bus shelters. I painted them up since they were pretty much the 3D kit. Anyway, these are absolutely superb and make the busway look like a busway. It sounds good, but really it's pathetic. Anyway, here is the Fredton Heritage Railway's main attraction, Dandwater Junction Station. Here is the Fredton Heritage Railway's main attraction, Dandwater Junction Station. Now, like I said in the last clip, this is absolutely superb Dandwater. However, here we are currently at the Heritage Railway. I've got quite a lot I need to do on this still. I'll get it running for you in a minute once I unplug my heater. There's a Gauge Master Super Shuttle system. It has been fitted to the track from about there all the way along to where that Backnell 04 road shunter is. This particular example is 0146, I think. And it has got a very old Victorian coach with it. But yeah, that's really fun to watch. At some point I will do a running session. I don't know when, to be honest. Hopefully it'll be after I've done this. There again, I don't know. Anyway, I need to fit some more platform into here. Unfortunately, Triangle don't do a curved bit of platform, so I'm going to have to make my own. Like I did with the middle set of platforms. There used to be a short bit of platform in there. However, it could only fit about 2 coaches, and Fredton Heritage Railway likes to run 3 or 4 coach trains. So I ripped off some trees and scenery, and here we are with a platform with absolutely nothing on it apart from a bench. And why do you need stuff on that platform when you've got stuff on this platform? Who knows? Anyway, continuing with the theme of the Fredton Heritage Railway. Here is a present I got for Christmas from my gramps. This is a Class 08. I'm not too sure what 08 this is. It's named Europa, and it is in the rail freight distribution grey livery. Now I can't actually see the number of the 08 from here, so I'll pop that on screen now. Anyway, it's holding some very old and knackered British rail coaches in the blue and grey livery. And here we have, well, for me, I've had this for quite a while, but for you guys, it is a new locomotive. Specifically, a couple of new locomotives, which are from the 60s and 70s, when British Rail, dare I say it, were at their best. Here we have a Western locomotive, otherwise known as a Class 52. I'm pretty sure I have showed this to you. However, just in case I haven't, well, here it is. It is D1062, and it is named Western Courier. The Western Railway have a similar locomotive, a similar Western, being stored and supposedly maintained at Willerton by the DPG, the Diesel and Electric Preservation Group. And here we have, I bought this in Burnham-on-Sea at the King Alfred School Model Railway exhibition quite a few months ago. This is a Class 35, otherwise known as an unreliable piece of crap, otherwise known as a Class 35 high mech. I absolutely love these things, but like I said, they are just junk in real life. The Western Railway haven't actually got any one of these that can actually operate at the moment because, well, they're all broken. Anyway, this one is in the VR blue livery and was weathered by the previous owner and is absolutely fantastic, and it runs like a treat. So hopefully I'll get that running in the running session. I'm not too sure about the Class 52 Western though, as it's a bit tight for the middle line. No, it's a bit tight for the inside line, which is of course the Heritage Railway. Anyway, on the back of that, there are a few sort of Victorian coaches and brake vans and stuff. And on the back of the high mech, there is a wagon with a absolutely brilliant Land Rover or Range Rover, which can actually go on the rails. British Rail used to have these. I don't know well, I don't know much about it, but it looks cool. And here are some heritage buses. And here is the car park for the Fredton Heritage Railway and Fredton Motors. So let's now move on to Dadwater itself. Okay, so here we are over the Heritage and Mainline tracks at Dadwater itself. It's supposedly a village, but it looks quite empty, to be honest. I got this for Christmas. My parents made it for me as a surprise, and oh dear, a tree fell over. Hang on. No, it doesn't want to stand up. Alright, hang on. Shoot. Right, there we go. It broke. I'll have to clear that up in a minute. Anyway, ignoring that, here we have a lovely lake reservoir sort of camping area thing with a lovely caravan and some more camper vans, which in real life I believe were absolutely terrible. And we have some sort of like benches, like a picnic area. Yeah, and here we have the Dadwater Junction signal box and a road. And here we have the Class 158 and the Class 800. And then there we have part of the abandoned platform, which used to be from the signal box all the way along to the end of Downham Junction Station. This used to be used for the main lines, however in the 1960s, 1965 I believe, Beeching decided to cut the station and it closed completely. And then the Fredton Heritage Railway was a thing, and they decided to bring back these two platforms at Downham Junction. However, these platforms, well, they're not used anymore, clearly. Anyway, here we have the Dadwater sort of bus terminal. I wouldn't call it a bus station, but here we have a 3 bus, which I have painted. It used to be in the Plymouth City Bus sort of touring livery. It still has the pictures, however, it has been decorated partially into the Fredton buses livery, and well, it's basically an advertisement for Fredton. And then we have the Harry Potter Wright Gemini 2, and here we have a Dennis Troyd and Alexander LX 400. This used to be in the Trumpington and Cambridge Park and Ride livery, however it is now, as you can see, in the Fredton buses corporate livery, and this looks absolutely amazing. Now let's move on to Teesside. Moving on now at Teesside. Now here we have Fredton Motors. You saw this in the last update, I think. However, I have an extra RAC van. And here I have sort of like a siding sort of area for the Fredton Heritage Railway. And this is where they can fuel up their diesel. And here we have some more historic shops. Once again, this is a bit like Mumple Village and is based on Axbridge and Cheddar in the Mendip. This area was one of my first and hasn't really changed ever since, apart from I fitted a Butterwell Somerset sign. Apart from that, nothing has really changed, to be honest. And here we have the cinema, which has now been glued down. Because it was low relief, it kept toppling over onto the tracks every time I knocked the baseboards. However, it is now glued down and it will be staying there for the rest of its life until I decide to move out. And here we have some sort of music shop. This is an absolute pain, but I don't know where else to put it. And here we have the Fredton District Hospital. There we have a bendy bus, a Mercedes Citaro. I'm not too sure what type it is. In fact, it's a bendy bus. Once again, this is in the Fredton Buses corporate livery. It has orange branding on it. Actually, well, it has its own branding. And then we have a Doxford Dipper bus on loan, a Dennis Star MPD Claxton Pointer 2. It is in the go-ahead Doxford Dipper livery. This used to operate with Go North West in Newcastle. However, it is on loan and is currently on route 8 to Mumple Village via the town centre. So yeah, that's basically Teesside. So let's move on to the town centre itself, which might possibly be the best bit of the railway. Here we are then, almost back along to the train station. That's my first bit of scenery on the railway, and I still think it's the best bit of scenery on the railway. Now this is what I call the town centre. It's the first bus depot, which is a John's Model Railways kit. I don't actually think he does these anymore, so good luck finding this. We actually found it on eBay. A permanent inn, which as you can see is a Fowler building, very nice. And a car park, which I believe is some sort of German kit. I can't remember if it's Fowler, it might be Valmer. It might be Valmer. But yeah, some sort of really brutalist multi-storey car park. It's a bit like the, what's it called? The High Street car park in Taunton, or it is a bit like the Orchard car park, also across the road in Taunton. However, I would say this is more similar to the High Street car park in Taunton and the Angel Place car park in Bridgewater. It's not too tall, but it's enough to catch your eye and your attention. There we have the bus depot again. I'll go on to new buses in a minute. A new train. And here we are coming along to the High Street, which is absolutely brilliant. Buffers Autos is now there. Thanks to Maria for that building. They're great at Buffers. If you live in the Axminster area, I don't, but I still go there. If you live in the Axminster or Charles area, or Crewkern area, or Yeovil area, or Taunton area, or Lyme Regis area, you should pop down there. They usually have some fantastic models, whether it's buildings or whether it's trains. I currently don't have any buses trains actually running at the moment. Here we have a pub, an American building, an optician, another building, and then a sort of a wine shop. Then we have the clock tower, and then we have the Greenway Shopping Centre, which I still think is the best bit on the layout. So let's now move on to newer buses, since we are background by the Fredton train station. Okay, so here we are now talking about new arrivals, new buses on the layout to be specific. You've already seen two of them. This is one of them, the Volvo B9R Plaxton Panther, I think it is, and the Volvo B7R Elite 162 for Perryman. However, here we are coming along to the first major sort of new arrival. Now I got this quite a few weeks or months ago now at the Bath and West Showground. If you follow me on Facebook, my name is Fred Wynn on there. But yeah, if you follow me on Facebook, which I don't think any of you do, how dare you? No, I'm just joking. But here is a Enviro 400. This cost me around £60–70. However, this is a bucket of magnificence, this. The only other Enviro 400 I have cost me £80, and I went and painted it into the Bustle Sunset livery. However, this is better. Whereas the other one is sort of in the X, Bristol X, London X, Cornwall livery. Well, not livery, but like in that sort of style, where the destination board is above the windows. If you look on the other side of this model, this is sort of a ex-Sheffield one, as the destination board is in the window, sort of at the bottom of it. But this actually used to work when first used to operate in Devon, part of First Devon and Cornwall, on the Plymouth Park and Ride towards George Junction. But now it's on the Bridge Street Park and Ride in Fredton. This is an absolutely superb model, and I love it to bits. Here's an Enviro 200. I've had this since my birthday. You've probably seen it. And here we have a Wright Reno. There are three of these. One of them I don't know where it is, somewhere in the house. But there's two of these currently on the layout. This one's on the 7 towards the town centre. Now, as much as first withdrawn Wright Renos many years ago, well, I've still got some. Fredton buses still operated by First. What is it? Transdev actually have some up near Blackburn. How do I know that? Bustimes.org, mate. I've not actually been to Blackburn. But yeah, and I think Wright Renos are fantastic, and that they shouldn't have replaced them so early, because I think they are still great buses. And if Transdev Blazefield still have them, why can't First or Arriva or any other bus company have them? Anyway, let's move on to the next new arrivals and changes. Okay, so there is the other Wright Reno. Here is the Enviro 300 with Fredway branding, which is what the busway is currently being called. And here is a Wright Gemini 2. This is ex-London, used to be in the Red Line livery, but the Fredton Park and Ride is now called Park and Ride. So this is now on the 1 and is in the Fredton buses corporate livery. Now this looks absolutely stunning. But yeah, here we are at the bus station. Here we have an Enviro 400 MMC. I've had this for quite a while, you've probably seen it, but it is now on Route 5 and has Route 5 branding. There is a ex-Reading buses, Enviro 400 MNC. There's a super fast, the Wright Eclipse 2, this one I've had for quite a while. A few other buses, then there's the Enviro 400 MMC for the airport, and then there is this very old beast, which used to actually be with First in Weston-super-Mare. This is a Volvo Olympian Northern County Palatine 2 with Badger Line branding. When I say Badger Line branding, it says Badger Line underneath the driver's window. That's it. But this is in the first Barbie livery. This was withdrawn many years ago now, in the late 2000s. However, this is actually on the Fredton Coaster open top service, which is why both of the open toppers are there. But anyway, this is a stunning model, and this is one of Corby's finest. Like I say, here we have another new arrival, Mercedes-Benz Taro, LX 400 and the Impala 200. So that, off the top of my head, is all the new arrivals. So I think we should get a running session in. Here we go!